I think that's a wrap on the boys' side. Tauli, I know you've been busy on the girls' side. What do you got?
Hey, you guys have been busy too with some Zoom chats, me as well. I chatted with senior at Chapman University, Sara Spaeth. She used to play at Oaks Christian and was captain over there, current captain right now at Chapman. And she's faced some adversity throughout her college career. So I asked her what kind of advice that she would give to young girls that maybe are watching this show. And here's what she had to say. So I'm here joined with Sara Spaeth, and she is a senior at Chapman University, lacrosse player. You are from Thousand Oaks. You played at Oaks Christian in high school. First and foremost, how are you doing and how is it back playing again?
I'm good. I've been doing well. It's honestly crazy. I'm like very, very grateful that we are able to have a season, even though it's looking a little different right now. But we're just getting back up. Our first game is actually this Saturday at home. So looking forward to that. But overall, pretty good so far.
How was that downtime for you and your teammates? You guys did not play together, I presume, or even practice. It was more just individual work?
Right. Yeah, it was a lot of individual work. It was definitely difficult kind of connecting the team because we did get a lot of freshmen. We really wanted to give them the best experience. Like being a freshman on the team it was one of my favorite years by far. It was so fun, like meeting the team and getting involved. It was hard not being able to kind of do that in person like we normally were able to. But we still kind of like tried our best like through Zoom and like all that kind of stuff and like keeping them involved and like doing different activities where we could just to like make sure that everyone kind of felt a little bit like they were a part of a team.
You being a captain now, let's backtrack a little bit. At Oaks Christian, you were a two-time team captain. And how was that helping those younger classmen and getting them more playing time or just making them feel comfortable? And then that transition to college for you now being captain on a college team.
Right. My high school experience was a little bit different. Actually, my grade really started the lacrosse program at Oaks Christian for girls lacrosse. So we did have a team leading up to a freshman year. It really started with like me, my friend Brooke Bryan, who's actually playing at Liberty University now. We were two lacrosse players who really wanted to kind of get it into the Oaks Christian High School so that we had a team to play for. So we started freshman year together and then kind of built the team from there. So a lot of our like being a captain, we were really the only two with experience just in the first place. So it was more like teaching people very fundamental things about lacrosse, and whether that be like, taking them and like would go play wall ball like at the middle school or something like that, just to like get people integrated into the game first and foremost, and then secondly kind of like bonding as a team. But in terms of how that's kind of translated to Chapman, it's been different. Again, like being a captain in this time with COVID has been really interesting. And it's not something that I like really had in mind, right? But you kind of have to adjust. So I think initially being a captain for Chapman, it was about like getting people involved, especially in the fall when we really weren't able to connect like we normally would. Getting people involved via like Zoom or kind of like doing, like holding people accountable as well, just like on the side, making sure they're getting their stick work in, stuff like that.
You have faced adversity, even a senior in high school, and then again, sophomore in college, and then we all faced COVID, and now your senior year of college. It's just, everyone faces tough times, and you face a ton of adversity, but you've overcome it. You're a senior captain again on a university team. How do you just stay positive and keep going?
Right. I really, the way I was able to get through, especially sophomore year, because I think that was my toughest injury. Again, like you said, I tore my right one freshman year, ACL meniscus, my senior year of high school. And that was obviously difficult, but then the second time around, it's almost like more of a mental battle because you know what you're about to go through, and it's like a year-long process and a year-long recovery. And I remember like, right when it happened, you obviously know, you're like, that was it. Like I feel the exact same pain, right? So my sophomore year, I tore my ACL, meniscus, and MCL, which I was in such a dark place because I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to face this again. But I think the thing that really got me through it was the fact that I, like my teammates, and that's just, as cliche as that sounds, it wasn't even an option for me to stop playing after that second one. Because a lot of people ask me, they're like, oh, like why, is that it for you? And I was like, no, because like I could literally not imagine like quitting after all of that, two, like not being a part of the team. Like that was just, I like fought back for my teammates to be like, that was everything to me. I like loved it with everything. I loved my teammates, and they were like my motivation to get back. So I really took the rest of that season to like go through physical therapy. I actually went abroad, which is funny. I went to Prague junior year fall. So I really was doing my physical therapy like while in another country. I was like going to little gyms. I was doing my squats, I'm like getting back because I was like, I'm gonna play like in the spring. It's just gonna happen. But yeah, I'd say like my biggest motivator by far was being a part of the team and like my teammates and getting back for them, because I was like, this is the best thing ever. I can't like give that up.
I was just going to mention about the bonding of you and your
Right.
teammates. It almost has to be even more encouraged right now. And even with a mask on, even for myself, when I'm out, it's so hard to even connect with someone, or me being on camera. I'm like, I have so much makeup on right now. I have this mask on. No one can connect with me. I mean, being on a team and you have to truly communicate and connect with your teammate, it's got to be so challenging.
Right. It definitely is. We also, just with being on a team, obviously we have to be really safe on the like outside of things. So right now, kind of like how we're doing it, and we're going basically like with a lacrosse bubble, if that makes any sense. So like we're not really seeing any friends outside of lacrosse, just like without a mask or anything. We wear masks kind of like, unless it's with your people living here or your roommates. So it has that element in a way, as kind of like we've all grown really close because we really can just like hang out with each other with a mask on the field. So it's kind of like that element has been a little bit interesting, but it's kind of forced us all to like come together as a team and like, okay, it's our season, like we're locking down, this is what we're doing. And like, we just have like, our focus is very like on lacrosse, which I think has been helpful in kind of like developing that team bonding, even though it's like a little bit odd.
You personally though, where have you progressed and improved during COVID?
Do you mean lacrosse wise or just?
Yes, lacrosse.
Okay. I would say, that's a good question. It's honestly been hard. But I think like the best way to get better is like just hitting a wall. I think that's been the one thing that you can do in COVID. I actually just like, just before our game, I've kind of told like everyone on our team, I'm like, you should be getting in 10 to 15 minutes of wall ball every day leading up to our game. Cause today we just had practice this morning and our like stick skills were not there. And I'm like, I think that's just like, that's one thing that we all have the ability to go do. You put your mask on, you park, you go. Right now our like the wall, like we have these handball courts like down the street and they're open. So I'm like, guys, the handball courts are open. Like there's not a lot of opportunities to like get together, but there's one thing you can just go by yourself. And like getting your stick skills has been something that I've been really focusing on, just in terms of like everything going on with COVID. That's like one way I've tried to improve.
What's next for you after college? I see that you were studying business.
Yes. So after college, I'm planning on working for Gallo Wine Company as a sales rep, which will be really exciting. It's actually in Northern California, which I've grown up Thousand Oaks and then went to Chapman in Orange County. So I've been very like, Southern California is like, I feel very comfortable. But I got the job offer in NorCal, which will be really cool, to be different. I think I'm gonna planning on living in like San Francisco Bay Area. So I think it'll be a little change. It's still California. Love, it's where I, soft spot in my heart for California. So I have to say, yeah, but so that'll be really fun. I'm looking forward to that. I should probably be going up there, I think in July or August. So starting that then.
I think what's just impressive is that you already have a job and you're still in college, already prepared for after college.
I know. It was, I actually had one of my really good friends, her name's Hannah Holden. She was actually in my sorority at Chapman. And she kind of reached out to me about it and was kind of like, this is something that I did. Like, if you are interested, here's the like hiring process, here's the information. And I kind of looked into it and I'm like, it looks pretty good. So I kind of went down the road and then I was like, it's like, let's do it, honestly.
What's one thing you will miss after college and I guess putting your stick up, or will you still be playing lacrosse during your free time?
I mean, that's a great question. I've just been thinking about that a lot recently, obviously, as we're in our last semester here. But to be totally honest, like being a part of this team in college has been like the highlight of my college experience. as like a D3 athlete, you're allowed to kind of like be involved in other things. So I have been involved in like sororities, and I've made different friends and all of that good stuff. But like, and I'm really glad that I had that experience of having this really well-rounded education in this college experience. And I got to like try different things. But like, I always come back to like being on this lacrosse team was literally the best part by far. And whether it be just like the things that I will look back on, and I think the things that I will miss the most is just like the things that we did together as a team, like off the field. And that's like, I mean, obviously the wins are great and like playing games and playing together, but like I'll remember, you know, waking up early with my teammates, those 6 a.m., 7 a.m. practices where we're like, oh my God, I want to die. But, and just like little things like that, like going and getting food after the game with your friends, like, because I think something that's been really unique and special about my team, especially at Chapman, is that we're all so close and we all become like, we're like best friends. And that's where I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna miss that so much. But I'll definitely still have my stick, you know, I'll mess around with it. Nothing big planned for lacrosse after college, but I, you know, maybe I'll coach here and there. We'll
enjoy
see.
some drinks and play lacrosse.
Yeah, exactly. Just mess around at the beach, you know. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'll definitely miss it a lot.
Ending on a high note, what's one piece of advice that you would give to someone that is a senior and their junior year may have been affected due to COVID, and now they're going to be finishing their senior year, which is very hybrid version, and then on to college? What's some advice that you'd give to those young girls and even boys?
You know, it's so hard because I mean, it's such a difficult situation that we're in. I would say if you're looking to play lacrosse in college, the best advice that I received was make sure that you pick a school that you like the school for itself. And like, if lacrosse wasn't an option for you or something down the road, like you get injured, COVID, right? Like there's just crazy things that are happening where like lacrosse isn't a constant. Make sure that you're going to a school where you fit and you feel happy. And I think that's what I found. I chose Chapman because I loved Chapman. I loved where it was. I loved that it was in California. I liked that it was the D3 program was awesome. Again, like I could have that well-rounded college experience that I really wanted. And for me, looking back, it was tough because a couple of my seasons have been, you know, taken one COVID last year. That was obviously tough. Season cut in half. My sophomore year, I also like went through a pretty terrible injury. I like tore my ACL, MCL, meniscus. So that was just same thing, like season cut in half. And I mean, as much as that sucked and it wasn't ideal, I think because I picked Chapman and I was so happy at Chapman, it was all kind of okay in the end, right? Like, I was extremely happy. I'd made such great friends, and being a part of the team again was like the best part. But just make sure that you're happy where you are. Like, your education is number one. So that would be my like best advice.
I love your attitude. I love your energy. Amazing. So good to just chat with someone at the college level. And of course, your career is coming to an end, but I guess that's what adulting is these days. Right. I had no idea.
I know. I don't know. We'll see. I'm nervous. We'll see how it goes.
I've been working for just a few weeks again since COVID. It's been a whole year off. I'm like, so this is what it was like? This is not what I want.
Yeah, it's wild. We're in such a weird situation. I'm really glad that we're able to like get back and have some sort of a season. It's actually interesting because Chapman plays in the SCIAC, and we play, it's typically like Claremont, Pomona, CLU, we have Redlands, Occidental. But right now, the only team that we're scheduled to play is Redlands. So we're looking to just play Redlands. I think some of the other teams are trying to figure some stuff out. They're not 100% sure, like they haven't really decided. But right now, the only person that's like 100% in is Redlands and us. So we're like, okay, we're gonna play Redlands every Saturday. You know, like, let's do it. Let's see. So it'll be interesting.
Such a fluid situation, but I'm so happy to see sports are back.
Yes.
It's so great to chat with you, and I'm sure we'll be visiting soon.
Yes. Thank you so much
for everything.
I really appreciate it.
Of course. See you soon. Talk to you soon. Bye.